Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's one funny morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday.
Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
It's such a small town. So if you're walking, people just be like, "Do you want to ride?" It's like they don't need Uber. They
what?
just have.
What?
They just pull over. They give you a honk,
No.
and they're like, "We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever."
That's called
our small
murder
town.
in New Jersey.
What's outside your puerta de clima?
That's Stella! Yeah!
Good morning. I'm Kelly from Nebraska. However, I am on location in the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, headed home from a week-long conference full of teachers. Anyhow, happy day to everybody, and here is our host, the beautiful, the wonderful, the hysterical Dana Blizzard. Uppy, uppy, uppy.
Good morning, good morning. How is everybody? I'll be back at the house. How is everyone? My hair is still like crispy. It's probably going to grow as we go through the show. Finally home, everybody. Finally home. Back to Curly Girl Summer. How is everybody? Oh, I know. It's so good to be here. Let's see if Lulu wants to come to work. Lulu, you coming to work? Come here, Lou. Come on. Let's go to work. Come on, Lou. Come on. She's coming. You know how, like, after a long vacation, you got to, like, slow roll into work? There we go. Sit down. There's nothing up here to eat. So it's not, we're not in the teacher's lounge at this point. If you could slow your roll. Hold on a second. Look, there's Colby over there. He's not locked in there, TikTok. He's just hanging out. All right, Lou, how we doing? Lou. So did you guys hear something? Lulu. Get over here. Oh, okay. I do it too, yo. So we're back home. I know, Renee. Last night I finally got home. And I literally landed. So I was at a conference in Miami. I had a great time, did a couple of days in South Beach, and then was over on the bay and enjoying some time there working. And I needed to come home last night in time for Jacqueline to compete in her first round of Philly's Funniest, which is a local comedy competition at Helium Comedy Club. And by the time I left the airport, it was 5:15. Show was at 7. I had to come home, drop my stuff, freshen up, get back in the car, go pick up my mom and Aunt Barbara, head to the city. Diana, I guess after 75, we're not going to the city. So you gotta get up. Yeah, exactly, Sarah. So I saw the dogs for 2 seconds. Coming in hot. Exactly, Denise. I stopped at a Chipotle, shoved some food in my mouth, picked up the ladies and headed to the city. Jacqueline did a great job. So there were 13 comics on the show. And you have to be in the top 3 to move to the next round. And I know Jacqueline did it last year. I don't know if she did the year before. But this is the first time that she's made it to the next round. So we were super excited last night. And now she'll go on to the next phase of competition. But very surreal moment as a mother. It was very funny because I know there's one joke where she talks about me. I've heard it before. So I go, oh, okay. Oh, you need to talk about your mom to be funny. Okay. Then last night she starts rolling into another joke. About who? Her mom. Every time she starts, I'm in the audience. I'm like, what is, she got some nerve. No, I've made a career of talking about my kids for 22 years. Oh, but you're going to come at me now. Oh, no. So I'm looking around. I was like, I wish I had a microphone. I was like, these are lies. None of this is true. I got something to say after she goes. But you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to sit in the audience with mom face and go, oh, like that. Here's me. You hear this? I got something I want to say. When she's done, I'm going to need that microphone. What goes around comes around. Whatever, Kathy. Are you the lady with the alpaca farm? Yes, I am. TikTok. I absolutely am. I have been raising alpaca for a number of years. A lot of people don't know that about me. I used to compete in alpaca racing. It's a very unique sport. They were considering it for the Olympics, but I don't think they're doing it in Paris. But I'm a third generation alpaca farmer. Mm-hmm. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm trying to encourage young people to get into this. Lulu is an alpaca herding dog. Lulu, why don't you talk about it? She's shy. These are our family secrets that have been passed down for many years. So there's some things I can reveal, TikTok, and some things that will remain secret. Dina Alpaca Blizzard is what I go by on TikTok. That's what they used to call me. Anyway, that's just really what I do in my free time. It's not like my full time because nobody can do it full time. It's tough biz. Anyway, so full South Jersey is a mecca for alpaca farming. Anyway, so yeah, I got stuff to say last night when Jacqueline was up, but and let the memes begin. Yes. So anyway, had a great time doing the conference. Exactly. And just to acknowledge, because somebody did bring it up, you begin with alpaca farming. And if you're lucky and you compete and you're ranked high, they will let you start breeding feta. And that is advanced. Nobody goes right into breeding feta. Very difficult. Now I kind of want an alpaca. Missy, everybody does. That's what I'm saying. It's so popular. What's that? What is the saying with dogs when they, not a breeder, go to it rhymes though. Like go to the, what's the saying? Don't adopt, shop. Adopt, don't shop. It's similar with feta. You know the saying. What was the saying, you guys, about feta? Everything is better with feta. That is the slogan. Could we stop whatever you're doing? What? Stop it. This is what happens when you bring feta into the mix. You know what? You know when nothing better than feta. I mean, it goes, yeah, along those lines. Anyway, you know when your kids are little and like you'll be having a full conversation with somebody and then you hear a sound about a mile away and you're like, I'm sorry, would you excuse me? And then you people just see you running down the street after your children have you're like, I know that's the sound of my child catching the bus. And there's just certain sounds that you know, but no one else hears it. Only a mom. It's like you have sonic hearing for whatever just your kids are doing wrong. That's me with Colby. I can feel it from a mile away. My dog's up to something. Jurgen, good morning. Yeah, I know. That run is my life. I live in the chase. Oh, Vianne. Big news, everybody. If you haven't heard, let me see if I can find it. I sent it to myself. I thought I sent it to myself. Maybe I didn't. Hold on. Lulu, do you think you could pick a chair? Because I'm not quite sure what we're doing. Okay, here we go. Big news. Southwest breaks 50-year tradition, plans to start assigning seats. Big news. Southwest is turning the world around right now. First, they are running they were not affected by the recent blackout with Crime Stoppers or Crash Plan, whatever it was called, that knocked the whole universe out because they run everything on what they say, a Commodore 64. And they are just rocking it. Now they are taking away the only barrier that most people have for flying Southwest. I have a number of barriers for Southwest, I will not lie, but I am going to give them props. They were the only airline completely unaffected. They were like, you know why we weren't affected? We don't use technology. And that in the last 2 weeks was in their favor. So they took that extra time they had with technology and you don't want that? Why did they do that? I think. Oh, now you're choking on what you just ate. How many eyes do you have? Do you ever look at your dog and they're like this? And you're like, really? I don't need that today. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I swear, with 3 dogs, there's something with one of them all the time. All the time. Just one. And then you take that one to the vet, you spend $1 million. You come back home, you're like, are we good? We're not going to spend any more money this week because I have to eat. And then they go, okay. And then the next day, I'm like, could the dogs be normal? Could you please be, where are you going? Okay. Yeah, she's in contract negotiations. She's like, I don't need this kind of harassment at work. I'm going to go lay down. Okay, she did. Yeah, getting a seat caused a lot of people a lot of anxiety. So it says that Southwest plans to drop its tradition and start assigning seats and selling premium seats. It's been studying seating options and making the changes because passenger preferences have shifted. Southwest, they shifted like 14 years ago. Listen to Southwest. They'd be like, we've been listening to people and we think there's a trend. Really, Southwest? You think people don't like doing like, what was the movie with the kids where they all had to fight each other and kill each other, to live? That's what it's like trying to get a seat on Southwest. And the hard thing is like, because don't you get like put into those like sets of 5? Like Missy will be like A12, but we're traveling together. Like my partner will be in like A12 and I'm in like N64. I'm like, I hope we get to sit together. I'm like, oh, we will. Because wherever you sit and whatever window seat you sit in, I'll have the middle seat either in front of you, with you, or behind you. Because that's all that will be left. Airlines are struggling with higher costs and reduced pricing power. Blah, blah, blah. Dallas, Southwest, based in Dallas, said its second quarter profit fell 46% from a year earlier to only 367 million. Times are tough. It would break even in the third quarter. Well, that's got to be rough to go from a profit of 300 million to 0. Rich people problems. Most airlines assign each passenger a seat when they buy a ticket. Southwest requires customers to check in exactly 24 hours before departure unless they plan to pay extra to guarantee a better place in the boarding line. Yeah, that's what it is. People are like, oh, yeah, you can sit anywhere you want. No, you can't. Not when you're Z12. Those who hate it call it a cattle call, but many Southwest loyalists love it. The flights have become more full have even gotten harder to score a window or aisle without paying extra. And some passengers appear to game the system. They use a wheelchair to get to the gate where they are given priority in boarding, then miraculously walk off the plane without assistance after the flight. Shut up. What? It said in a survey 80% of its customers and 86% of potential customers want an assigned seat. Why did it take them 14 million years to come around to this? What is going on with Southwest? Yeah. Yeah, my mom finally admitted she needed a wheelchair to get around at the airport, but we did get good seats. They probably were watching us, VN. Yeah, exactly. Wait, for the first time yesterday on the flight home, so it was here to Miami, and I was really surprised that the plane, most planes, if I'm in the US, are just, single aisle. So you walk down the aisle, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, because, I'm always in economy. And that's how it goes. But for whatever reason, this Philly to Miami trip puts you on what I call like an international flight, right? So it's got 2 aisles. And so it's like 232 in the fancy section or 333 in the poor people section. And so it was a big plane, but I guess that there's a lot of people doing this trip, so they go big, whatever. So, I'm all the way in the back. This does not apply to me. But for the first time, I hear them say, ladies and gentlemen, please keep in mind when exiting the aircraft that the first class passengers will exit first. I was like, you're joking. So when you're on a single aisle plane, everybody's getting in the front, right? So this is the front, and everybody files back. So the first class passengers would essentially be the first ones off. But on these jumbo planes, where there's a couple aisles, you're kind of getting on in the middle. And then first class goes this way, poor people go this way. I wish they would just call it poor people. Just call it what it is. Okay? Stop being like our first class passengers and the poor people. Just say it. We all know what you're saying. Yeah, we just paid a ridiculous amount for our air to year, and they wanted us to pay $120 each to be 4 rows closer to the front. 4 rows closer? What for? What? So because we enter in the middle, the first class, I guess, isn't guaranteed to exit first. So I've never heard them say that before. I'll be like, yeah. You know how this is going to work? Called the elbow game. And I'm from New Jersey, and I'm amazing at it. I was like, listen, you can control the boarding process. Now you're going to try to control how we exit? No, so yeah. So when you go to the right, there was business class first, which is like, oh, you got a little bit of money, and then, yeah, Linda, that is true. But let me put it this way: the rich people are, I don't even let me say anything like that. Yeah, I don't know. I do enjoy me a business class. I don't know why. Because it's not that much more space than economy. Oh my gosh. A ticket to Scotland was $1,000. So crazy. If the door is in the middle, they should use the zipper merge method. Thank you, Courtney. Yeah. Business class and first class are different. Yeah. Because the first class people, they was in those pods where they could like stretch out like this and do whatever. But business class, instead of having like 3 seats in a row, it's 2 nice seats. It would essentially be like first class on like a 1 aisle plane, if that makes sense. Yeah. I'd want to be the last one off in first class. I'd be dragged out, kicking and screaming. It's the bougie experience I'd never wanted to end. I know. hmm Um. So anyway, so that was fun. So this was funny. Tell me if this happens at work. Why aren't you at the shore at summer? Because now we are in the rental season. So, in order for me to, I don't know, pay the mortgage, I have to really rent it most of the time. So I take about 2 weeks of summer. So I did that, and I kind of get it ready and all ready to go for the kids and I to enjoy. For the summer, for the 2 weeks, and then we start rolling into all of our renters. So, yeah, so I'll be bebopping back and forth, cleaning it. It's just as fun as laying on the beach and enjoying it. Anyway, so I'm at this conference. Tell me if this happens at your work, because I don't have a real job, so I don't know if this is a thing, but it just struck me. So we're at this conference, very lovely, nice people, mixed men and women, just really smart, like techie people. Anyway, so I'll sit in on some of their meetings just to kind of like hear like what they're up to, like learn a little bit about their business, whatever. And I'm in this meeting and I'm listening to them say like big corporate words, fine. And all of a sudden a bigwig starts talking. Okay. Now tell me, is this normal? I think it was hilarious, right? Yeah, he's back. He's not close to the table. So he's got, you see how like one leg is here and one leg is here. So he's doing like the man spread, Hold on. Nice guy. Man spread. Full man spread is happening, right? So he's like this, right? Then I don't know if it was to make a point, but as he's talking, he was like, and then he goes full this. And then does the whole rest of the speech with his arms up like this. And talks like this. For, I don't know, 15 minutes? And I'm sitting relatively close. And I thought, this is a lot. In a chair, like this. And maybe even like head back a little bit. Is that normal? Is that how people sit at work? Specifically, I doubt women are doing this. I don't know. Now I want to have a meeting with Missy, but I've never seen her do it. But is that, I don't know. Is it a man thing? Alpha male? I don't know. Nobody seemed to care. It's just not, she kind of just like, yeah, it's normal. Let's have a leg spread meeting. Could you imagine just a whole bunch of girls just showing up to a meeting? I can't even be like, listen, I took some notes. I don't know. Maybe I do run meetings like this, and I don't know. I feel like my meetings like this, like that, like nothing. I don't know. I'm gonna start doing this. Yeah, in a dress. Thank you, Brooke. Let's put that in. But I just thought it was funny. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was a funny time. No, it was like an informal chit chat. I mean, listen, I love the conference. It was just a silly thing that I noticed. I got the eyes that got to notice stuff, which is super annoying. Because then like people are talking, we're supposed to be like listening to the content in which we're speaking. But the whole time I'm like, what made her put those shoes? Those were nobody's shoes that I would have chosen with this outfit. You know what I'm talking about? When you're at work and like you're positive you're supposed to be learning something, but the entire time you have an internal monologue but in the back of your head and you're just like, does he own real pants? Just nothing like that. Is it the pose we perform at the gynecological exams? Essentially. The ones that make us all uncomfortable. Men show up like that for work. Funny. Mm-hmm. Oh, Kelly, good luck. That's the worst. Just drop the kids off at camp. Jen, do this. Jen, this is it. This is the I just dropped my kids off at camp look. That's what you should do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have the attention span of a gnat. Pretty much every video call I'm on. And let me just say this. I don't know how you do it. I've seen people do it, but if you're on Zoom and sometimes you'll see people that blur out their background. I just want you to know that if I'm on a call and there are 10 people on that call and one of them has blurred out their background in order for it to not be distracting, I will spend the entire Zoom call trying to figure out what's in the background because there could be 9 other people at a zoo in the background, which I should be looking at. Be like, oh, that's an interesting monkey. But the entire time I will look at the one that blurred their background and be like, what are you trying to hide? I think I see the letter M. Like the minute you blur a background, I got to know what you hiding because I'm from Jersey and I have to know what you blurring out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I will ask at the end. I'll be like, I'm going to need to see what I can't. I don't know what it is. I don't even know that I don't know. Why'd you blur it? Everybody else is showing their ugly bedroom. Why you got to blur? And then there's those people that are in like a fancy, like New York apartment. I'm like, is that where you live? Why do that? You be you. Just put yourself out there. You at a strip club. What are we saying? How do they do it? I don't even know how they do it. Listen, I make videos. I'm pretty savvy tech-wise. I don't know how. And I've never attempted to. Maybe that's why I don't know. I don't know why would I blur it? I would like you to not see my surroundings. I don't understand. I don't even understand why people do it. That's just me. Okay. I have something to share. Oh gosh, I'm not going to find it. Let me see if I can remember it. Okay. So I'm in a sleepy shore town where my house is. Okay. Sleepy shore town. It's known. So if you are not near shore, but I'm sure everybody has like a vacation area you go to, but along the Jersey Shore, our entire side and underbelly, all shore. Okay. And each shore town has a different, in Jersey, we'll call flavor. Okay. Some party, some kind of trashy, some very elegant, some stunning. They won't even let you drive through it unless you have $1 million in your pocket. All different. Some are like Cape May is real Victoria, a vibe. It's the flavor. Okay. The flavor of my town, very quiet. Very quiet. Well, please stop looking. That's my mom. And recently, my town is seeing like an influx of the youngins. So there was a weekend here in New Jersey, I don't know, early in the season, where one of our great family shores, which was Ocean City, had a problem where they had to clear the boardwalk. Somebody got knifed at one, which was real bad. We don't get that often, but it happens. And but a ton of the shore towns were reporting kids, big groups of kids. So like most of the shore towns in New Jersey have boardwalks. We were the originators. Atlantic City is the first boardwalk in the United States. It's the oldest and longest. And so lots of Jersey shores have boardwalk, but some don't. And if they don't have boardwalks, there's really nowhere for kids to go. So their families pile them in cars and they have nowhere to go. Kids keep piling up. Fine, whatever. Why are you telling us this, Dina? Here's why. So my little sleepy town has like the local paper. So the local paper comes out and it says a number of things. It says the July 18th meeting was an abomination or something, real crazy. And a lot of places are complaining. A lot of residents are complaining about noise violations. So, during the pandemic, lots of restaurants, bars had to start using outdoor seating. And since then, I'm sure you see it even in your communities, like a lot of people have just kind of kept it and expanded on it. And it's especially nice in the summer, people can be outside. Well, there was a restaurant that has expanded in its backyard and its front yard, and there's residential areas around. People don't like the sound fine. This part does not sound unreasonable to me. Okay, here is on another side of town. They're saying the instances of drunken disorderly, noise violations, and peeing at public displays of peeing. What's the word? Urination? I don't know. Through the roof. They said just this summer has seen more violations of these things, mostly drunken disorderly and peeing in public, throwing beer cans everywhere, than in the last 10 years total. It's gone buck wild, right? Fine. I'm sure this is happening everywhere. Dina, what is your point? What are you going to then? Let me tell you. Now they start getting quotes from the people in the town. This is when I'm in. People are like, this is ridiculous. These young people, blah, 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 right? You can tell every quote, the person was over 75. Fine. They're annoyed that young people live. Fine. Here's the quote. This is out of control. I stayed up from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. and I counted 56 urinators in that time on my street. Now, this was a quote in the local paper from a person. Let me start again. I counted from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. 56 public urinators on my street. Now, mind you, it's a busy street, but imagine the dedication that it's the summer, you have a beautiful shore house, and your family's like, hey, what do you guys want to do tonight? You guys want to go out, maybe grab dinner? Nope. That is not what I have planned. They're like, oh, did you want to go clubbing? Nope. No, I have some loungewear. Okay. Are we going to have a crazy night? No. I have to be out front with a pad and paper and binoculars. I don't know. Yeah. And she counted. Must be a member of the Neighborhood Pee Patrol, the NPP. Yeah. That's 14 urinators per hour, Joyce. I love that you did the math. And it was a serious comment that somebody made. Stayed up. I was just like, can I meet this person? I would like to do a follow-up interview. Sometimes on Dateline, they'll do like an expose, and they're like, we're following up on a recent story like that. And let's go deeper into that. Yep. Danielle looking down from her deck. Yeah, it gets better. Better than that, Dina? Yes, it does. So then it says that the people in my sleepy town are upset because recently the town board has decided that it will no longer be allowing, I guess, you know how in the past, remember C-SPAN was the only way you could watch like a local board meeting, and nobody did. But C-SPAN existed for a long time. And remember there was the mayor that got up to pee and he had his mic on and everybody like not good things in the bathroom. Well, now what they're doing is that sometimes they will take public meetings and they'll put them on Zoom. So I guess people who have a lot of time and enjoy counting can watch the board meeting on Zoom. Well, just recently, my sleepy little town said, we will continue to Zoom out the meeting, but we will not allow for public comment and we will not allow for videos to be on. And people were outraged. That's what this article says. And I'm thinking, what? What are you outraged about? And they said, the town said, we had to stop allowing for public comment because people were going buck wild. Listen, we all know on social media, people go buck wild. Now you put something serious on where you're making everybody mad, people are going crazy. So no more public comment. Fine. You want to turn public commenting off? Fine. But they weren't allowing people to go live to watch. So like if I signed on, like you might see my face, you might see Wendy's face, you might see Chris's face. So we're all at home, maybe with a blurred background, but we're watching. They're not going to allow that anymore. And it said, due to some inappropriate video. And at first I was like, somebody cut into the video when they were doing the meeting? That doesn't sound right. Why would that mean? Then they were like, no, they cut off video from home watching because somebody turned their camera on while they might have been doing some dirty things at home. And so during the meeting, you know how it's like the little Hollywood squares, we all show up on Zoom and there's a square with a lot happening in it. And I was like, what are you talking about? I keep saying I'm in a sleepy little town, but I'm going to be honest. There's a lot happening that I am not aware of. A lot. I didn't know that was a thing. Don't you remember there was a girl that clearly didn't understand how Zoom worked, and she was in like a Zoom meeting, and I guess she thought her camera's off, but she took her computer with her, went into the bathroom, and was like watching from the toilet, and they were like, "We can see you." What is wrong? There was definitely a real steep learning curve when Zoom kicked in. Is your town called Peyton Place? Real steep. So I feel, second story, we're going to move on from that story. I don't want you to think these are connected. They're not. I believe we had this lady on our show. There is something called the burned haystack method. I think we had her on the show when I was out in Palm Springs. And it's a dating philosophy. And there is a web page that you can go to where you follow the rules of this burned haystack dating method to find, if you're online dating, they're just like guidelines for you to follow to find quality people. And so I had joined it at one point, and it's an interesting place. I think it's only women, and where people can say, hey, this was my interaction with somebody on a dating site. What do we all feel about it? Right. So it's almost like the, am I the old thing that we read sometimes. So basically, if you got a situation with dating, you can go on to this burned haystack method. You can post anonymously, say, I got this. How we all feel about it. It's a long lead in, Dina. Yes, it is. But why? Because every once in a while, somebody will post something up there and you're like, they said what? So it's always stuff that women, messages, right? Usually texts that women will get. Burn to block method. That's it. Yeah, we had Jenny Young on. Yeah, I loved her. And so people will be like, hey, this happened. What's your feedback? And I gotta be honest, I get a kick out of like reading what men are writing straight cookie. So in this one, the girl writes and says, I had been talking to this man. We'd been texting back and forth. He seemed lovely. And they lived 3 hours apart. And then she said, he said, finally, why don't we meet up? Right. Which is nice. So yeah, exactly. Shikendra. So they decide to meet up. So he posits and says, hey, why don't I make plans for us to meet? So it'll be about an hour from her, 2 hours from him. They were going to meet in this town that was kind of in between. And we can meet up. I can get us tickets to go here, and we can also go to this museum. And since it's far from both of us, I can get us a hotel room, separate beds, of course, whatever it is that you would make you feel comfortable. And then we can go from there. And I'm reading it. I was like, did this man just position this and say, listen, I've enjoyed texting with you. Why don't we meet? We'll have separate beds, same room, save money. You're like, yeah, no, that's what's important. I would rather save $40 and just share a room. But thank you for the separate bed. Aaron, 0 to 60. I was like, what makes a man think? I've never met you. Let me tell you something. I could know a man for 6 months and I'm still haven't taken murder off the table. I'm not taking it off the table. I don't know. I could get married to you. I'll be like, yeah, I'm not taking murder off. Listen, I'm like 97% in, but there's 3% that I'm like, you might murder me. You guys read there was that article that said they asked a whole bunch of women if you were alone in the woods and you had the choice to either stumble into seeing a bear, or would you rather stumble into and see a man? And they said the majority of women said, I'd rather run into a bear. Yes. I'll share the hotel room with a bear. How about this? How about you get a room for me and this bear, and you still stay in the next room over? At least I know what I'm getting into with the bear. We're either going to cuddle or it's going to kill me. I'm okay with that, right? Are guys really that bad? Bob, you just don't know. Bob, you're one of the good ones. That's why you're asking that question, okay? You asking that because you coming back, are we really that bad? No, you're not. But some of you are. Bear all day. Bear all day. Just, The outrage of men knowing rather take our chance with the bear is really revealing. A bear will attack you. A man will protect you. Lee, you're hilarious. Which man? Why don't you let me run this man through a battery of tests? Yeah. Yeah, I remember I had to ask, what was it about it when everybody said bear? Listen. My husband was shocked when I said bear and mad. Listen, you guys can be mad, but the stress is real. The stress is real. No. Nope. Yep. Well, that's what I said, Joni. I was like, why would you preface this? I was like, listen, an hour is not that far for me. I'm fine driving an hour. How many fine, upstanding men are lurking around in the woods? Yeah, what are you doing out here? What am I doing out here? Why am I here? Where are my besties? Are we glamping and I got lost? I don't know. But there's a lot about the story. Most bears run away from humans. Exactly. Yeah. Nope. I don't like. Marge is like, let me ask you this. What does the guy look like? I'm telling you. Listen, I don't trust anybody. Okay. And that's just New Jersey in me. I'm probably going to run for everybody. I'm just going to sit in a corner with like a Snicker bar. And I'm just going to watch y'all. I'm watching how you're walking, how you're talking. If you find me, it's because I'm dead and somebody put me there. That's what I'm saying. What am I doing in the woods? I'm not a woodsy person. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Lisa says that's why we should all carry pepper spray. You can take a man down with it, but not a bear. No, Lisa, have you ever tried it? How do you know? Mm-mm. It says there have been more women killed by men than have been killed by bears. It's a known fact. Brenda's not wrong. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Vicky, I do remember that Starbucks where it was just all men. And they were very handsome men. We could have made a calendar. But bear spray would take care of a bear or man. Is there something specifically called bear spray? No idea. Do we have spray for every specific animal? Interesting. I take pepper spray on my morning walks. There you go. But would those stats change if there were more of us hanging out in the woods? Probably. Which is why I don't go to the woods. I don't know. And the crazy thing is, when I grew up down near the woods. We grew up in the woods, so I feel fine in the woods. Okay, I wasn't a Girl Scout or anything. I'm not gonna freak out. I don't know how to live off of berries or live off the land or anything, but I would be fine for a little while. I'm just saying, like, it's a very foreign notion to me to like live off the land. But I do worry if we have to go back to colonial times, and we've talked about this a number of times. I will be ill prepared. I was once offered a trip to an island. I said no to the tropical murder trip. Okay. Okay. Not all islands are murder trips. Some are. But yeah, I mean, who's to say? It is. It's funny. So every once in a while, I mean, even if just for fun, you can join that burned haystack thing. And the stuff that men write, and you're just like, I don't even want to go on vacation with some of my friends. Okay. I've seen how they live. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not rooming with you. I'll be by myself. I'm not doing it. I'm fine saying that. And I've texted with you 4 times and you're like, let's just get a room together. And you know what? We'll just put an imaginary line right down the middle, Dina, and you'll stay on your bed and I'll stay on my. No, I don't even want to be sitting next to you, but in the bar, I don't know you. What are you talking about? I don't know. So crazy. I follow for entertainment and now not interested in all 9 days. Yeah. Listen, there was a lady that just posted the other day, and it was actually a really beautiful, well-written text back to her. He was like, hey, I made a plan for us to go do X, Y, and Z. Reservations are at 7. If you don't like these restaurants, let me know and I can find something else. We'll meet on Thursday. It was like real specific. It was like, man. And she said, I wanted you to see this because this is exactly what this burned haystack method says. Like she goes, and they're out there. There's people that do that. And it's lovely. I'd be great at colonial times, Rebecca. It sounds amazing. Mandy, I promise I'm clean. We'll need to share a room for Vegas. We can meet up first. It's not a bad blind date. Yeah, I mean, as you all try to figure out who your roomies are for Vegas, same thing. Be like, listen, are you a bear? Let me know. I know, Shakendra, it is very, very funny. Anyway, there you go, Wendy. There are a lot of good men, but you have to burn the haystacks to the ground in order to find some needles. So that's kind of their whole philosophy. And and maybe just having some honest conversations and just saying like, listen, this is what I require and this is what I want. Yeah. Is there any big info out? No, my goal is September is to be able to put that out. But we've all kind of been on vacation. I was away. So we're going to start putting all that together. So anyway. So yeah, so it's Thursday, everybody. Tonight I'm hosting a Ladies of Laughter competition up in North Jersey. And so it'll be great. So I get to meet some amazing up and coming female comics and some professionals as well. So there's a professional category and an amateur category. And so I am hosting a round of that tonight. So I might take a nap later today in order to stay up for that. I know I have a book to finish, Joey Joe. So I have a couple bits of stand up here and there. But yeah, this rest of the summer will be dedicated to writing. So we'll see how that goes. But hopefully remember it's Friday Eve. So it's almost the weekend. So hopefully you have some fun things planned this weekend. Karen said, my dad used to tell me if I was ever kidnapped, they'd return me because I talk too much. Same. Exactly. Yes. And continued prayers for Robert, our OFM husband, who's awesome. And he is dealing with some issues with his eye. So send some good vibes out to Robert and Wendy as they are on their road to recovery. So yeah, lots of good vibes to everybody, anybody that's dealing with things, which is pretty much all of us in some capacity. But thanks for joining, and it's good to be back. Thanks for all your patience as every once in a while I have to go do some real work. So no baby yet that I've heard of, Brooke, but pretty soon I imagine. So yeah, so that's it. So I'll be bebopping around today. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we'll go get some bacon, lettuce, no, that's not what I eat. Bacon, egg, and cheese bagel tomorrow. Maybe we'll be on the road. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. But thanks for watching as always. And, like Judy from Saskatoon and Good Time Andrea say, do something nice for yourself or others. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being back here in the kitchen. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning. So have a great day and a blessed day. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Morning.